Well, I think more importantly, the new round of tariffs going head-to-head with Europe, that makes people think that maybe the nearness of a deal with China is not there. We're already beginning to hear again today that Congress is having some second thoughts about quickly ratifying the new NAFTA, if you would, or NAFTA 2. So trade is very much on the minds of traders down here, and I think that's what's given us a weak start throughout the day.
Art, if we don't have a new NAFTA, if we don't have a big agreement with China on trade, and whatever happens with the U.S. and the EU, in other words, if we have the status quo, does Wall Street, does the stock market sell off on that, or do you think in some ways that's what they're already expecting?
I think they would sell off on that. They built up the hopes for a deal with China, have put a nice prop under the market. It's also put a prop under oil. And oil and stocks have been rising almost in link step all the way through. So I think if it began to look like a semi-permanent trade war, the market would definitely sell off.
And are we talking a 3% type of sell-off, Art, or something more in the 10 to 15% repricing that would have to happen over time?
It would depend very much, Kelly, on how strong that trade war looked. You know, was it just a little disappointment that we're not moving along in the manner that we thought? Then you'd be looking at maybe a 2%, maybe a 3% kind of pullback. If it looks like we're looking at 2 years or something like that, with us going nose to nose with some major trading partners, then I think the sell-off could be more severe. But we're going to cross our fingers and hope that that's not the case.
Sure, and we know the big stocks, the Dow stocks that are often caught up as barometers of this Caterpillar and 3M and some of the names that Bob Pisani was mentioning. Is there anywhere that you think investors could kind of hide out if they want, you know, maybe some solid consumer names with U.S. exposure that could do well no matter what happens on this front?
Yeah, some of the consumer names might be helpful, and actually some of the tech stocks, which is paradoxical because most of them get more than 50% of their earnings offshore, but they aren't seen as direct objects for tariff wars. So you might get a little support in some of the tech area.